Hello from Trend Signal and welcome to our review of the data and events the week beginning the 19th of January. It is a federal holiday in the United States on Monday, the Martin Luther King Day, where all markets are shut in observance. But there has been a lot of action in the markets last week. The major event was the Swiss National Bank's move to scrap the Euro Swiss franc floor at 120, a floor that's been in place for over 3 years. As a result, the Swiss franc obviously rallied sharply, a knee-jerk reaction to that event. It was totally unexpected, as the SNB had reiterated previous week its commitment to the floor. But of course, they would reiterate that if asked, because if they didn't, it would immediately no longer be valid, as it were. The impact has been varied and far-reaching. Obviously, it's very deflationary, very bad for Swiss equities, and very bad news, I guess, if you're about to go on holiday to Switzerland. Swiss shoppers have been flooding over the borders into the EU to do weekly shops. There's another result of what has happened, or impact on what's happened. Markets, obviously, most of the action has been in Swiss-related assets. The SMI fell over 1,100 points, which is close to 13%. Euro Swiss, well, a very dramatic move, over 2,000 points, over 4,000 points at one stage, as low as 0.80 Euro Swiss rate. Dollar Swiss, that fell 1,500 points, or about 15%. Sterling Swiss as well, yeah, that fell 2,300 points, about 15.5% as well. Other than that, other dollar markets, the US dollar continues to march higher. The euro was about 2.33% weaker on the month, on the week, I should say. Cable, sterling dollar, that was unchanged. Gold, big mover on gold, that was up to $57 last week, which is particularly notable, bearing in mind the strong move up in the US dollar, which would normally result in any dollar-based commodity like gold suffering. Oil unchanged on the week, despite the intra-week low of $45, which was about 10% lower, but the market rallied back to close pretty much unchanged. So a stabilizing picture. I wouldn't go so far as to say a roaring buy by any means. So a lot happening this week, really. Aside from the aftermath of the SNB's move to remove the Euro Swiss floor, a very, very important week for the markets, not totally unconnected, in fact, with the news from the Swiss National Bank, is the monthly meeting of the European Central Bank, the ECB, who, the much anticipated event where they are going to announce the Eurozone quantitative easing, or QE, as it's referred to. This has been much discussed, much talked about over the last 4 months, and the markets have certainly discounted this a lot. The euro has fallen significantly since May last year and continues to fall. And there's also been obviously a sharp reaction as well in the German DAX and other European Eurozone bourses. The DAX last week was up 614 points, over 6.33%. Contrast that with the S&P 500, which was down 25 points, or 1.25% lower. So you can see here the effect of quantitative easing, what it'll have not just on the currency but on equity markets as well. So very, very important. Expectations, Bloomberg suggests that the average expectation, the consensus here, is for a 550 billion euro program. The details will be announced at the 1:30 p.m. press conference on Thursday. There's been a lot of criticism about it. I know Jens Weidemann and another German member of the committee, the ECB committee, will be voting against it, but I think Mario Draghi, the president of the ECB, has managed to offset some of the criticism. And I think the key event, or the key point now, is that the ECB is going to force national central banks to take on the losses for their national debt. and so it offsets some of the criticism being made by the Germans that it could encourage countries not to be financially responsible, as it were. So we will see how that turns out, but that is the main event Thursday. In the meantime, there is data out, I should say, a number of data points. The most important one really starts on Tuesday, in fact, with the ZEW sentiment indicator, but that is going to, say, be overwhelmed by Thursday's events. We've got quite a bit of data out in the UK. We've got our employment data on Wednesday, and also the MPC minutes. Really, they hold less excitement these days, as things have definitely cooled down. I think the dissenters may remain dissenters, votes 2 to 7. It may even drift back at being unanimous again. I don't know, but it'll have little impact, I suspect. Really, the major event, as I say, is then leading into Thursday. And one of the important points is that apart from the HSBC manufacturing data and the flash manufacturing data from the Eurozone on Friday, we have a very, very important event happening outside the market, or the trading day. Or this Sunday, we have the Greek election, I should say, which I think is going to be very, very important this Sunday. The possibility that Syriza could end up taking control, and which will have significant implications for the Eurozone and what the ECB is doing. Obviously, that's not something they can take into account in their meeting this Thursday, but we could wake up on Monday morning with a change in government in Greece and a change in policy, a policy that suggests Syriza is going to renegotiate its debt situation and its borrowings and the terms of, and so that could have quite a significant impact. And possibly we could start talking about Grexit again, which would be the Greek exit from the euro. A word that we'd sort of forgotten about for a while. Anyway, that's it for now. Good luck with the week's trading. Still a lot of picking over the ashes from last Thursday's move by the Swiss National Bank. But I'm sure we'll have more colour on that as the days progress this week. Thanks very much for listening. Bye for now.
If you would like more information about trading the right way, Trend Signal is giving you the opportunity to see and hear about its services live at a free online seminar. Take a look at the Trend Signal website for the latest events and to book your free place.